Hi, today I want to talk with you about your relationship because the relationship is like one of the most important things in the fertility journey. I'm Saskia from getpregnantnow.com, and in the last 20 years I have helped so many women all over the world in the journey to motherhood. Women who lost hope, who thought maybe motherhood is not in the cards for me. Don't give up hope, and let's talk about your relationship today. I know from my clients that often the relationship is under strain because not only you struggle, the man struggle too, and that can be hard. And you need your relationship to be strong because your relationship is the backbone of your family. So you want to have that strong. So how do you do that? How do you keep your relationship supportive, happy together? And I have a few tips. One of the tips is that you want to let him off the hook. And I know you don't want to hear this because it's hard, right? It feels like everything is on your shoulders, and you have to do all the things, and you have your checklist of things, and for him it's easier. But don't forget, men struggle too, and they may not voice it, but they want to see you happy, and they know when you're struggling, and that's their struggle inside. So one of the tips is let him off the hook, and this is about love making. And it's very, very hard for men to perform on task day, and that's something that I scheme with my clients about, like, you know pretend, maybe even like, oh yes, I ovulate today, but it's not that big of a deal. However way you do it, don't make it such a big deal, and don't panic yourself about it, because that panic contracts the body and that contracts him too. Start making it more spontaneously, and that can also mean that for a month or two you don't take your temperature and you just see how it spontaneously happened, because that can very well be too. So that's one tip. I know that's not the tip you want to hear most, but let's start with that. Another tip is to create that relationship in a very gentle way. It's a habit that my husband and I always have had, is hold hands. But I don't mean with that hold hands when you walk on the street. Yes, you can do that, but in simple ways, maybe when you watch TV or when you go out to dinner and you sit at the bar stool, you just hold hands, or when you're at a movie or when you're in bed, make it a habit. You hold hands, you grab his hand. It's a beautiful way that should be a habit that creates that connection in not an oppressive way. Then another fun tip is to make a love list, and that love list has three things. Number one, that's 5 things why you fell in love with him, 5 things why he would be such a great dad, and 5 very specific things that you appreciate about him. Maybe they're weird, but 5 specific things that make him who he is. Now, another thing, and maybe you're already doing that, is to create a date night. But the importance of creating that date night is that we always did that. And when we had the kids, and probably I'm blessed with 5 children, is that even though if I was pregnant or I had my different babies, we always had every week a date night, because you need to keep that connection. And a date night is wonderful. And one of the big things about the date night is you are not gonna talk about the fertility journey. This is a subject that's off the hook on those dates, right? That you can just focus on you, because otherwise it's gonna be so dreary. So make it a fun night and do it every week, because when your baby comes, you wanna have that habit down. Now, another thing is appreciate him out loud. And don't assume that he knows what you like about him or what you thank him about. And even try it out to appreciate him for a full minute. that's just amazing to be the receiver of that. You can even ask at some point, not at that moment, but if he can appreciate you and how that would be for a minute if you do that together. Now, one last thing is that I hear that a lot too, that at some point the men say, well, I'm losing hope. You know, if it doesn't happen now, we give it one more month and then we're done. It is basically because they're tired of the whole thing. So in those moments, you're going to be the rock. And then you're going to provide that attitude of, you know what? I stay strong and you give him hope. You know, what if it all works out? Or what if miracles do happen? You be the rock, because he needs that from you too. Now, I hope this helps. And my biggest wish for you is to become a happy mom, sending you sweet baby whispers.